come with me with Tava. No place is too far. Come with me with Tava. No place is too far to go. We can take you around the world. Catch this flight with me with Tava. No place is too far to go. New places, new faces, yeah, new zip codes. New money, NFTs and plus crypto. I don't need care cash no more. Digital currency on me. Overseas we back and forth. Round trips all aboard, baby. There's room at the top. We'll save a spot for you. Can't no one limit us, so you should come with me with Tava. No place is too far. Come with me with Tava. No place is too far to go. We can take you around the world. Catch this flight with me with Tava. No place is too far to go.
Hello, hello, hello. Hey there, COO.
What's going on, Michelle Pierre? How are you doing today, my friend? Happy Sunday to you.
Happy Sunday to you. I am doing fantabulously well here in H-Town. In fact, I'm bringing the sunshine tonight.
I love the colors. I love the colors. So we're all bright today here. But let's welcome everybody. How's everybody doing in Tava land?
Hey there, Tava Nation, Facebook family. Let's see, who do you see on, Kevin?
I see Mandy. Hey, Mandy, how are you? I see a lot of Facebook users on here. I also see Gilbert Davis. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Hello. Latrice Russell, Misha Green, Tamika Webb. Hey, we got a sighting from Ms. Roz. Hey, Ms. Roz, how are you? Corporate office.
Hey, Ms. Roz.
Yes. Mandy,
Nona Hensley, Miss Sarita, Ashley. Hey there, Tedra Gordon. Good evening. Hey, y'all.
Michelle, have you seen Pastor Sean lately? Have you seen her lately?
Man, she was in Italy, Greece, Europe. I don't know. She is using her Tava worldwide for real.
And she is a walking billboard for these products, but I got to give her a shout out because she's using the products, but she's putting the products to use and she's working out and she just has a routine. So I've been following. So congratulations again, Pastor Sean. I always tell you congratulations.
Yes, shout out to you. And I see Double Diamonds, Paul and Nina Moorer are here. Hey. Why are y'all Facebook users? Why are our Double Diamonds Facebook users?
I don't know. It's some in the settings or something on Facebook, Michelle. I have no idea. Dr. Grace, how are you, Dr. Grace? Grace Patterson, how are you, Dr. Grace? Marguerite.
Ashley.
Yeah, Marguerite Faison, Philly logging in. Tedra, all the Phillies logging in. Christian Walker, hey. All right, who else do we have on the show so we can go ahead and get started?
I see Miss Tracy. I see Jennifer. I see Lisa. Man, everybody come on. Tag. Share. We are going to hear from our CEO tonight. So you want to make sure that everybody is on. You only have about a minute to go. Hey, Miss Latrice. I see you.
So you're trying to mock me. That's why you lost your voice today. See, you don't like ugly. Okay? Hey, Ashley Gills, how are you? All right. So listen, look, like Lachelle said, let's go ahead and share. He always comes up with the word. And listen, I always like for you all to share because you never know who's scrolling by your page. You never know who's watching, who need a word of inspiration. So this is not just for, people that are involved with Tava. He always shares a message for, that would resonate with just people not in Tava, but outside of Tava. So I want to encourage you guys to hit that share button on your social media pages right now. Isn't that right, Tracy and Robin? All right. So let's go, Michelle. So I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend, and in sunny Houston. I started to say sunny side. I know a little about sunny side because you and Kenny told me about sunny side.
I am representing, okay, proud
Right.
of my heritage.
That's
If
right.
you are in Texas, Houston, and you know about Sunnyside, put it in the chat. Hey, Miss Jenny, are you in Jamaica? Or are you in the U.S.? You know, we cannot
Can't keep
keep
up.
up with you.
Can't keep up. She better be at conference, I know.
Oh, I know she's coming to conference. If nobody else will be there, I know Miss Jenny already has her ticket. That's a fact.
That's right. So speaking of conference, we're super excited about conference. I don't want to spill the beans. I've almost lost my job about 20 times since we've been here at Tava. So I'll leave that up to these two to spill the beans on what's going to take place at conference. So Lachelle, I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend.
All righty. So, as we said, guys, tonight it's the hour of power. Go ahead, tag, share. Make sure you get your people on, but not just your people that are in Tava. Because as our COO, Kevin Harris, said, when Mr. Lloyd shares, he shares from the heart and he encourages. So if you know someone that needs an encouraging word, that needs some inspiration tonight, tag them, send out those text reminders, share it on your page right now so that they can get on. And we are just going to dive right on in. He does not like a lot of lengthy introductions, but he is our CEO, our founder, our visionary, and that is none other than Mr. Kenny E. Lloyd. So the very next voice that you will hear will be from him. So go ahead right now, do those last minute shares, guys.
Yeah, she said, for there were many. Hey, one day, that started out with me, but now they've gone astray. But I'm still holding on. She's like, I'm still, but I run through that wall, holding on. I'm still holding on to his hand. They said I wouldn't make it. Said I wouldn't be here today. They said I wouldn't amount to anything. Look at the church. We grew up in the same church. But I'm glad to say, come on, ladies, that I'm on my sing, ladies, and I'm growing more and more. Sing for us, ladies. Yeah, she said, for there were many. Hey, one day, that started out with me, but now they've gone astray. But I'm still holding on. She's like, I'm still, but I run through that wall, holding on. I'm still holding on to his hand.
Hey, everybody. It's Kenny Lloyd, CEO, Tava. Listen, the video you all just saw, I spend a lot of time on TikTok, because I want to see the algorithm. I want to see how people are promoting. It's the new wave. So I spent a lot of time on it. And I came across that video, and it really touched me, the words of it, because it's funny because I think back to when I began my journey. A lot of people, listen, I can go all the way back to when I was in high school. I was not a good student at all. And my high school counselor told me that I should probably look at going to vocational school, learn how to cut hair or something like that. And all that did really, it didn't hurt my feelings. It inspired me because I knew that she didn't know who I was, but I know who I am. And that's the thing. You have to know who you are. And I knew that was not that was not going to be my journey. I knew that everything I have in me, that it was not designed. And I don't knock anybody who does that for a living. It was just not for me, you know. And listen, it inspired me because I made it my life's work to make sure that she knew she was wrong, you know, for real. And so the song really touched me because, you know, many people counted me out. Many people, you know, in my journey, you know, from the time that I knew what a millionaire was, I wanted to be one. And that was my life journey. I think that not understanding the significance of it, you know, the one thing I will say about my mother and who I miss dearly, you know, I wouldn't be here if it were not for my mother. You know, my mother uh, made sure that I was mentored by kings, by men that were like me, that looked like us, black men, strong black men, that I was mentored by them, that were very successful, that were millionaires. And man, I'm not talking about one or two. I mean, you know, she covered me. I mean, she made sure that I had that mentorship. So therefore, when I look at where I am now, it's not, people say you're lucky. No, I'm not lucky. You blessed? Yes, I'm blessed. But this was, anything short of where I am now would have been a disappointment, you know, with all the sacrifices that my family made, you know, my lineage, you know, the last name that I carry, who my parents were, what they contributed, you know, anything short of that would have been a failure, you know, but I had to walk my own walk, you know. Uh, it's funny, I was talking to a gentleman and, you know, he was saying he wanted to do I don't know, documentary on me and my lineage, right? And I told him, I said, you know, I spent a great deal of my life running from my name, the significance of the name, running from it because uh, it carried a lot of weight and the responsibility was just too much for me, you know. And I really did. I ran from my name for a long time. I mean, I left Detroit running from my name, you know. Um, I never really shared with a lot of people who my father is, you know, who my father, well, I say is because he still is. My father was the first African American to play in the NBA. You know, I used to run from that for real because I wanted to establish my own name, you know, and, you know, and so, I mean, I moved to Atlanta. I mean, I just spent, you know, half my life running from my name. And, you know, as I see it now, I couldn't run from it. There's no hiding from it. You know, I just had to make some decisions. I'll tell you this. I'll never forget at my father's services when he passed. I mean, there were all kind of celebrities in there, you know, but they were regular people, and his wife wanted to allow everybody that really had a relationship with my father to say something. And I'm going to tell you something. I mean, it was a line out the door of people. And you know, what I learned was that despite the fact that my father made a tremendous amount of money in his life, he coached the Detroit Pistons, you know. Uh, after his basketball career, you know, he was the first African American to work at Chrysler Corporation, you know, the car company. He was the first black uh, to work there. They held a managerial position. His job was to find other African Americans that were capable of filling the positions. And but you know, it's like that was just a lot on me, you know. But you know, and I had, you know, I think back and I think about my gifts, man. I had a tremendous amount of talent and gifts. You know, basketball just wasn't the greatest one. You know, got me a free education, but it just wasn't the greatest one. You know, because I couldn't develop my game with anonymity. I was a target. You know, that's Lloyd's son. That's Earl Lloyd's son, and everybody just wanted to do me. They just wanted to humiliate me. You know, and it didn't work out so well for a lot of people. But the point I'm making is that it was a tough time, you know, for real. And you know, and so I was just kind of running from my name. I was out there just kind of lost, you know, for real. You know, because I tell everybody that like there are two great days in your life. The two greatest days in your life is the day you're born and the day you discover what you're born to do, your purpose. And so many people never discovered their purpose for one reason or another. It took me 50 years to discover my purpose. Why? Because I was off track, because I was running from the name. I didn't, because, and I really think I was running from it because I didn't feel I was worthy of it. I didn't feel like I was really worthy to represent the name. And I just wasn't ready at that time. But it really took me 50 years to really find my purpose. But I found it. And a lot of people never find it. Why is that? Because a lot of people are moved and motivated by worldly things, and your purpose is a spiritual thing. It is an internal. It's something that like God doesn't tell you what you're supposed to be. He doesn't share with you how to get there. You have to find your way, and that journey is a tough journey. It really is. It was a very tough journey for me, and but a lot of people never find their purpose because they don't listen to their internal, you know, their internal compass. They don't follow it because they're motivated by things of the flesh. They're motivated by money and power. And when you're motivated by money and power, you miss out on things. You could make a whole lot of money, but you may not be fulfilling your purpose in life, right? Uh, when I discovered network marketing, I found my purpose. This is absolutely 100% what I was purposed to do. But everybody thinks that because God has a plan for you, they think that because you are purposed to do something, that it's supposed to be easy, but it's not, because before you find your purpose for real and fulfill it and illuminate in it, you go through a season, what I call a season of suffering. And there's a season for everything, but what precedes abundance and you fulfilling your purpose is a season of suffering. And a lot of people, they don't survive the season of suffering because it is, when I say suffering, it is you suffer. And what happens is that, and you suffer in many different ways. Um, I got on track when I joined my first company, Artists International. I knew I was purposed to do network marketing, right? I've already stated that I knew I was purposed to do it. However, in my journey, when I joined, we started making money, but my purpose was much bigger than the money that I wanted to make. Because when I first joined network marketing, I think this is the thing a lot of people don't understand, that all I really wanted to do was make enough money to retain my crown at my house. I just wanted to be the man in my house. I wanted to be able to uh, take care of the bills. I wanted to be able to uh, and have some dignity, not have to hustle. I really wanted to just pay my mortgage, pay my bills on time, you know. But I went through a lot, you know, going through that season of suffering. Even when I found network marketing and soon discovered that it was my purpose, because man, I could feel it, man, internally. The spirit was just leading me. But man, my first 6 months were very, very, very tough. It was. I mean, like when I say suffering, like in the season of suffering is where you're cleansed and where you're polished. Because you never come out of that season like you went in. But see, what happens is that a lot of people, when they go into that season of suffering, they're not adequately prepared mentally or spiritually, because you in that season of suffering, you have to, like, spiritually, you can't be, if you're motivated by money, if fear or power in that season of suffering, a lot of people resort back to what they used to be, what was easy for them before they entered the season of suffering. Because when you enter that season of suffering, you're on your way to your purpose for real. But a lot of people are not able to handle that. Like, I made a covenant with God And I did. I made a covenant. And my covenant with God was, if you show me my purpose, if you guide me, I won't take any shortcuts. I'll change myself. I'll change my character. You know, I'll change how I walk. I'll change how I talk. I will become a servant to you, and I will prove it to you. You know, and I will show you. And you know what? I had to do just that. I had to show God in that season of suffering my propensity to, no matter what the circumstances, man. And when I say season of suffering, let me give you an idea of some suffering. Because when the suffering comes, a lot of people quit. A lot of people don't understand that the season of suffering is necessary before you attain abundance. Because everybody I know that lives an abundant life went through a season of suffering. You know, during my season of suffering, I really had to find some things within me, like my moral fortitude. I had to really exercise belief, faith, and my resolve. I mean, had to be strong. It was very strong. I mean, I found some things about me that I didn't know existed because I was committed to my covenant with God that I don't care how tough things got, that I would not resort back to the man that I was before I got saved. My covenant, I don't care how tough things got, I was not going to resort back to the hustle. I just wasn't. I wasn't going to do things that brought shame to my family name. I wasn't going to go back to that. I was changed. I was a changed man. I made a covenant that I was going to change myself. Now I'm telling you now, I'm getting somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere with this. Because many of you all, there's some of you all out there that you were purposed to do network marketing. Not everybody, but there's some of you were. And I'm telling you that the season of suffering is a part of the program. And you have to complete it. You have to come out of it, because when you come out of it, you have an appreciation for everything that is about to happen for you, the abundance that you're going to experience. When you go through that suffering, you will have an appreciation for that money. That money becomes significant. You understand? And that's what I learned about my father, is that, man, his body of work was very significant. And my father told me, he said, boy, he said, one day when you get on track and that money you want to make, if you make $500,000 a year, you're doing great. He said, man, when you ever get your head on straight, just know this, that once you get past the money, you got to move into significance. And that's what you learn as you go through this, because my suffering gave me a new appreciation for it. And when I say suffer, I mean, man, even though we found our purpose, I was still, like, when we first joined Artists International, we were making some money, but man, our lights were getting cut off. My lights were getting cut off. When I'm 50 years old now, my lights were getting cut off, And I tell people I was born again at 50. Most people are dying at 50. I was born again at 50. And it's like my lights were getting turned off. And I was in the midst of working. I mean, I was working. What I tell everybody the story, man, when me and Shantae used to leave the house. And this is how I know, like when we used to leave the house, I used to always leave the lights on outside the door. And even now, Shantae is just, man, she's just crazy about it, man. Like turning off lights and turning lights off and conserving, man. And it's like, so you got to know, then we were broke, man. It was much worse then. Okay, so we leave the house and get ready to get in the car and go to the airport, and the light would be on. Shantae would get out the car, go turn the light back, off, and I would say, damn, I forgot something. Run back in the house and turn the light on. And why did I do that? I did it because if our lights got cut off while we were out of town, And we would be out of town for like 4 days at a time. And we worked. The entire time we'd be out from sun up to sundown, we were getting it, right? And man, to come back home and discover that your lights were off, man. So I would be so pensive as we would turn in the corner, onto our street and driving up that street. Shantae would always ask me, Kenny, what's wrong with you? Why are you so pensive? What's going on? And I'd be like, I'm good. I'm just tired. And man, when I would see that light on that porch, man, I would just think, thank God, thank you, Jesus, thank you. I don't have to come back home at 10 o'clock at night to no lights. And because I don't want Shantae to have to go through that, man. It's just enough. And you got to know working through that, because the money that we needed didn't come fast. It didn't come like that. It just came in for 6 months, 5 months. But man, it's the longest 5 months ever, man. When you're broken, you're struggling. Like I tell people, like my car, they were trying to repo my car. Now, the only thing I knew, I didn't have a job. And when they try to repo your car, 9 times out of 10, they get it wherever you live. If you live in an apartment, they come and get it, or they know your work schedule, where you work, and they get it from your job, right? Well, I ain't have a job, and I had a house with a garage, right? And here in the state of Texas, I don't know about where you live, but yeah, they don't have to be in your house for you to shoot them, and they know that. They can be on your property, and you can shoot them if they sniff around your house. You don't have to ask any questions, right? So I knew that, they knew that, but my car was in my garage and it was padlocked, right? Now, I had a navigator, man. It's just crazy. It's like, but it didn't stop me from navigating my season of suffering, right? Because I pulled that thing out, man, when I needed to. I wasn't scared. I was like, shit, if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. But I'm taking this navigator and I'm going to use it until it's gone. And that was very tough. It was very tough to ride around with that car. The tags were bad, didn't have insurance on it. Man, I went through a season of suffering. In the midst of ending the suffering, I went through a season of suffering. And so my flesh was like, man, I need to make money fast. I need to make, man, it ain't coming fast enough. I need to, maybe if then I'd be like, no, you made a covenant that you weren't going to do anything crazy. That if he gave you your break, that your break doesn't look like what you wanted. And because it doesn't look like what you wanted, it doesn't mean it's not your break. And I stayed true to it. My house, Shantae didn't even know. I was getting mail, and man, they were foreclosing on our home. And I never let Shantae know to the end. I took all the mail, had a little secret hiding place for the mail. And I was in the mortgage business. So I kind of knew how to, maneuver in the midst of that, delay it and 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 delay it till I just ran out of fight. And I'm like, man, the hell with this. At this time, we started making a little money, but can you imagine, man, I'm about to lose my home. I'm about to lose my house. But you know what? I stayed in my season of suffering. I stayed focused on the end of the suffering. I stayed focused because I knew that I couldn't suffer for long. So I stayed focused on the end. Okay, not what I was going through, because I know what I was going through could be a short term. It wasn't going to be forever. Damn sure wasn't going to be as long as I was suffering. So I stayed focused on the end, not in the midst of it. I stayed strong and I stayed focused on the end of it, on what was waiting on the other side of suffering. And it took a lot of faith. You got to understand, like, if I was motivated by the money, I'd have been gone. You understand? And that's what I'm saying, because I knew I was operating in my purpose. I felt in everything in me that this is what I was supposed to be doing, but I knew I had to endure the season of suffering. And I had to, and it took everything I had, because if it was just about the money is important, but money comes and money goes. I'm a testament to that. Money comes and money goes. If it was just about money and power, I don't know if I could have completed that season of suffering. Because when I say a season of suffering, man, I'm talking about it was like 5 months. That's a long time to be going through some damn suffering. I will tell you nothing. It's a long to be a man and going through suffering. It's like, man, I had to use my belief was off the Richter scale. Do you hear me? I believed with everything in me that I was in the right place at the right time, working with the right people for the right reason. And I believed that, and I carried that with me. My resolve, man, I was trying, listen, I didn't care. Man, I would take $20 and stretch that $20 so far, it was crazy. Man, it's like in that season of suffering, man. And I could tell some stories that bring me down to tears, And I tell a story that, yeah, we went to Atlanta, did 4 home parties. And we didn't finish the last one at 1:00. And I was supposed to stay at my buddy's house. But, when you're going through your season of suffering and you broke, man, you're vulnerable. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're vulnerable. And so when you're vulnerable, if you are about money and power, you're susceptible to an interruption. And what is an interruption? An interruption is when you are in your season of suffering and, man, and something comes up and distracts you. It interrupts you. It interrupts your flow, your divine flow of what you're supposed to be going through. And it just does. It just interrupts the flow because people who stand for nothing fall for everything. And there's a lot of fugazi stuff out here. But people, and me, I wasn't falling for nothing because I believed with everything in me that this was it. That I don't know how long this is going to last, but man, it cannot last forever. But my covenant is that I am not taking no shortcuts. I am not going to be distracted. I am not going to play myself. I'm going to see this through, and I'm going to see it through. So we lost our house, our car. I gave my car up. Finally, they couldn't never find it, but I said, let me just do what's right. I, gave it up, and man, our lights and cable. If I didn't learn anything in college, I learned how to turn them lights back on. Okay, I told you that now. That was my hustle. I was the man. Now listen, you get your lights turned off, call Kenny. Kenny can restore them lights. All right. I know how to restore them lights. I know how to restore that cable. Okay. I learned how to survive, but I survived. What's a hustle all the time? Just be a hustler. I looked at me in the mirror one day. I said, man, you're a 50-year-old hustler. 50-year-old hustler, man. There's nothing to be proud about that, man. There's nothing. I wasn't proud. I was looking like, how do your children look at you? Because see, when you're in your purpose, you consider all of that. Like, how do your children view you? If they were going to be just like you, what would they be? What are they going to be? If their children are going to be just like you, what are they going to be? The decisions that you make in your season of suffering are vital. Those decisions are vital because, it's easy to quit. It's easy to give up, man. It's the easiest thing in the world. And don't get me wrong, because I say this, and I stand by this. Like, I don't hold people to Tava, to my company. I don't, because I feel like this, that I don't know, like Tava to a lot of people could just be a stepping stone to their purpose. I can't, I would never be like, if you quit, you weak, you can't quit. No. I'm speaking to the people who are purposed to be here. And if you're purposed to be here in this moment, if you're purposed, but I am telling you what's expected. If you're in your season of suffering, just know this, believe, please, trust and believe that suffering is short term. And large in part, see, there are a lot of things that interfere with the season of suffering, for real. It's like pride, it's like insecurities interfere, they interrupt your season of suffering. Pride, oh my God, pride is the big one. Okay. Your fears, and when I was going through that, man, listen, was I scared? Yeah, I was scared, but because I never gave myself up to anything or anybody. I never made a covenant and just and relinquish my hustle. I just never did. So was I scared? Yeah, but you know what carried me through? Is this saying, I've been saying this since I got in network marketing, since I found my purpose. And I say that fear and faith cannot occupy the same space, because your faith will take you places your fear will never allow you to go. Fear and faith cannot occupy the same space, because your faith will take you where your fear will never allow you to go. Fear is an incarcerator. Fear is the author of bad decisions. Listen, fear is good and fear is bad. It motivates you to sometimes, to sparks you to do amazing things, but most of the times, man, it makes you do stupid things. It makes you do irresponsible things. Fear, you know, you find things in your season of suffering, because if you don't find humility, your season of suffering is just going to be unbearable. I mean, it's just going to be, I don't know, long time, because you've got to find humility. And see, when you find humility, and humility is going to be your greatest asset. When you find humility, it allows you to endure self-doubt. It allows you to endure ridicule. You understand, when you find humility, because you're humble enough to talk to somebody and tell somebody, because you when you're going through your season of suffering, you always have somebody, a guide, somebody that can guide you, that you can talk to, that has some sense, right? And you got to know, you can't listen when you suffer, you can't talk to another person who's suffering. When you're suffering, you got to talk to somebody who endured the suffering and endured the season, and then entered into the season of abundance. You got to find somebody like that, not somebody who's just always negative and negative and negative and negative, because in your season of suffering, you don't need to be around any negativity. Anybody around you that all they do is talk negatively, you need to get rid of their asses, get rid of them, stay as far away from them as you can, because man, you don't need that, man. The tongue is powerful. And if you allow that in your world, man, it starts attaching itself to you. Man, anybody that's negative, man. And see, what happens is from the world, from the flesh, is where that negativity is bred, because negativity comes from a lot of things. Some of the things I said, it comes from pride, it comes from insecurity. It comes from financial struggle. And when you find people who are going through that, you will find negativity. Either you find faith or you find negativity. Okay? Because when people are struggling, they strike out and they look for a reason of why they're struggling. They look everywhere but in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? So so the point that I want to make to you is that it's like, during this time, I say your decisions are vital decisions you make when you're in your season of suffering, because you have an internal compass. Like God in each of us, He didn't give us the way, but there's an internal compass that lets you know when you're on track or you're way off track. Because when you're way off track, you can always tell, because when you get way off track, man, there's always chaos, man, around you, confusion. The enemy, man, he basks in getting you off track, because he knows the wondrous things that you're going to do, how you're going to serve God. He knows how you're going to bless people, because I'm going to tell you all the way to the end. When the house got foreclosing on in our season of suffering, man, look, I turned it into a positive. And when you exercise humility, man, people show up. The guy shows up. Shantae had a friend that was a manager of a Marriott Courtyard. Man, we had a room for $30 a night, and we were still traveling. So I looked at it like that. My thing was, shit, let's better box all this up, put it in storage. We're making some money, so let's make some good decisions now. Let's believe. Let's put it in storage. Let's put this stuff in storage. Keep the hotel, because see, we had a condo, a high-rise condo. And but we had a tenant in there. We were leasing it out, and it wasn't going to be ready for like 2 months. So for 2 months, man, we had to endure and stay in a hotel. And I'm saying this: understand that When our season of suffering ended, we were still in a hotel room. We were in a hotel room about to hit the top position in the company. And we had about 60 or 70 applications to put in within like 2 hours, 3 hours. And man, and look, Shantae was the one who entered that stuff into the system. And man, she was shaking, man. I was putting pressure on her. I mean, my dumb self. I'm like, come on, baby, you're moving too slow. You got to pick it up now. Come on, because I knew that this was the end. I knew that this day, I knew that this day, our season of suffering was going to come to an end because I knew everything. And I knew that we were going to shine bright like diamonds. We were going to bless people with our story, what we went through. I mean, all the things that we endured, and people needed to hear it. So Shantae was putting the stuff in the system. I was putting the pressure on her. And all of a sudden, it was like we had about 15 more minutes. And Shantae started shaking, because she was nervous. And she started shaking. And I'm like, oh, God, please, God, don't let her pass out. Because if she passes out, we're screwed because I can't input it. That's what she does. That's what she did. And so I collected myself and said, baby, don't worry about it. Just hold on. Let's take a break. Come on. Moved away from the computer for about 3 minutes. I said, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But our life is going to change when we get the rest of these in. And you know what happened? We got them in, all of them. And at 2 minutes before the time elapsed, it came up on the computer and it said, congratulations, you've hit the rank platinum president. And at that moment, our season of suffering ended. Our season of suffering ended. I tell a story how when I saw a turnover, I told Shantae I'm going to lay down and go to sleep for a minute. I'm just going to go to sleep for a minute, get back up. And I slept for 18 hours straight. And in that 18 hours, I was being reconfigured. I was being spiritually enhanced. I was being given instructions in my sleep. I was being prepared for when I was born again. I was being prepared for when my eyes opened up. I was being prepared for the next chapter of our journey, which was absolute servitude. And for the moment when my eyes opened up, man, I was born again. I was a new person. I understood what my purpose was. I understood what my assignment was. I understood what my mission was. I understood exactly where we needed to go and who. My discernment. I don't know what happened during that time of sleep, man, but my discernment was enhanced 10 times. Because I knew the people that were hurting, I knew the people that needed help. And I had to go through that because in order to be a great leader, you have to be able to lead people, not just to the money. You got to be able to lead them through the season of suffering because everybody goes through a season of suffering. It's just that, can you endure? Can you endure it? Can you pass through it? Because once you pass through it, you got to pass through it to hit abundance. And the question is, can you pass through it? Can you pass through it? Shantae and I are going through our season of suffering now. Not to the extent we were then. But we're way out of our comfort zone. We left everything behind, something that we helped build for 7 years, man. We left it to come over here because we knew that this is what God wanted us to do. This is part of our assignment. And so it wasn't hard to leave it because I knew that he would not take his hands off of us if we're doing his work. We knew that I was going to have to go through a learning curve, that it wasn't going to be easy. We knew that people would come and people would go. We knew that it wasn't going to be easy. And this is not easy at all. We knew it was going to be tough. We knew that we were going to have challenges. We knew what was going to happen. I just didn't know the extent. I didn't know that I was going to get sued here, get sued there, and people, because when the enemy knows that you're about to serve God that you're about to show the power of God times 100. When they see the elevation that you started off as somebody that was broke, not broken, but broke. You didn't even know who in the hell you were. I didn't know who in the hell I was, but I was just broke. I wasn't broken, but I just didn't know who I was. But I got found. He found me. He elevated me. And I started my journey. Nobody in the industry even heard of Kenny and Shantae Lloyd when we first started our other company. But once we came out of our season of suffering, everybody knew who Kenny and Shantae Lloyd were. You know why? Because we did God's work. We traveled all over the world because it wasn't about the money. Yes, we need money. If it was about the money only, I wouldn't have survived my season of suffering. But I knew we were supposed to do some significant things that were bigger than that. I knew that money would never, I knew we would have problems, but money wouldn't be one of them in this next world. I knew it wouldn't. I knew God had, just like now, we're in our season of suffering. It's not easy. In times like this, just because I don't wear it don't mean it ain't easy. I'm not supposed to be walking around here crying and shit with eyes, and I'm not supposed to be like that. I lead this. I got a lot of people depending on me, and that's why they say it's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top because you can't show. When it gets heavy, I don't even listen. I can't even I don't even let Shantae. I have moments. I don't even let Shantae see me when I have these moments, man, I get in the car and go sit somewhere, by myself, man, and just deal with it, man, because I don't even want her to see it. I don't want her worried. She might get worried, man. You all might get worried if I just had a breakdown on here. Oh my God, it's just so tough. You ought to be like, whoa. But you know what? God gave me these shoulders. Yeah, he gave me my stature because I carry a lot. And I carry a lot of people. And I carry the dreams and the hopes of a lot of people. And it's not easy, but you know what? He gave me these shoulders for a reason. He gave me my stature for a reason because I will never collapse under the pressure. I know who I am. I don't care what people try to say about me, how they try to destroy me. They can't destroy me. You know why? Because I got favor. I'm on assignment, baby. I got favor. And you all have favor. You just have to illuminate it. You just got to walk in it. You got to know. But you got to endure your season of suffering. Because the money that you get to and the decision time, listen, man, there are a lot of people walking around. There are a lot of people walking around this industry right now who had great careers when they first started. They were blessed. Some of the most gifted people that I've ever seen. I've seen them. I know who they are. When they were here and they were operating, and they endured the suffering. And I've watched them do great things in this industry, but I've seen them turn into freaking zombies, man, like The Walking Dead, because they cared more about they endured it, but then it became about the money and fame and fortune and power. And because it became like that, they lost their favor because that's not what it's about. It's about servitude. It's about servitude and servitude. Listen, let me tell you something. When you have people serving you, the words ain't always going to be sweet, man. I see so many people, man, just lose sight of their journey. You know why? Because they get mad, they get angry. People, when they're in this season of suffering, people say stuff, you get mad, you get angry, and you quit. Man, I didn't like what Kenny said. I don't know who in the hell Kenny thinks he is. Say, man, I say what I say, man, because I love you. And tough love sometimes is necessary. You don't want anybody patting your ass on the back all the time. You want somebody to give you some truth. But everybody don't like the truth. Everybody can't take the truth. Everybody doesn't like the truth. Me, man, I was given the truth. I had a couple mentors, man, they didn't spare the ride. I had a guy when I was in the mortgage business, and I never forget, this guy was like, hey, some of y'all ain't cut out for this. This is how he talks. Some of y'all ain't cut out for this. Y'all, this ain't for y'all. The good, the good. The bad news is some of y'all don't need to be here. Some of y'all won't be here in the next 60 days, okay? Because I'm not going to have you just walking around here laughing and joking. This place is business, right? broke as hell, you know, ain't closed a loan, ain't done anything. Man, he said, listen, but here's the good news. I got a good friend up the street that owns a Wendy's and he's hired. That's where I come from. You know, and it was that tough love that motivated me. But, you know, I guess I can be a little tough sometimes because I know I say some things to people and people like, you know, they don't even understand. But I say it with love because, you know what, when you're going through your season of suffering, it ain't for the weak. It ain't for the weak, it's for the strong. Only the strong survive and endure the season of suffering. That's why so many people enter it, but some people quit, turn around, and run away from it because they can't take it. You know why? Because they are on the wrong track. They're thinking from the standpoint of money, power, and positioning. When if they thought about servitude, when they thought about their family, when they think about what their children need to say, how to like the children, how they can serve, how they can elevate people, how they can save some people, how they can be led to the people that need them. When you think it from that standpoint, man, you can endure anything. But when you start thinking it from yourself, when you think about from fame and I've seen people quit companies because they couldn't speak at events. And man, I'm telling you, I'm like, man, and they think they quit on the company, but you quit on yourself. And this ain't personal. I don't want anybody to think I'm talking about you because I'm not, because I wouldn't do it publicly. I just wouldn't. I'm talking from my heart. This is what I was led to really discuss tonight, is that a lot of people quit when they're in their season of suffering because it is too much, because they are led by something other than what it should be led by. When you're led by the flesh, when you're led by the worldly things, your resolve, your spiritual resolve ain't as strong. It's not strong. You know, it takes a lot of spiritual resolve. You got to be led by the Spirit, man. You can't be led by people. People will disappoint you every time. But God will never disappoint you. The Spirit will never misinform you. The Spirit don't make mistakes. It's just how you interpret it. I tell you, one time I was walking outside. I was at my previous company, and there was a lot of BS going on, man. I was just like, and so I was going to have this conversation with one particular person. And I really wanted to say what was on my mind, because I tell people, like, there are two kind of communications. There's one effective and there's one that makes you feel good, right? And the one that makes you feel good is when you curse somebody out, when you call them out their name, stupid, dumb, you know, and you just say whatever you want to say. No one is going to hurt them. The effective one is being a bigger man and just, you know, knowing how to reach them, right? You know, and it's very important that you do that. So I was walking outside, and I was going to have this conversation, and Shantae was riding me, talking about, Kenny, you're going to have to be the bigger person now. You're going to have to be the bigger person. I'm like, man, I always got to be the bigger person. I'm tired of, you know, I'm tired of being the bigger person. And that next morning I woke up and I was still angry. I was like, I'm tired of being the bigger person. And this is no lie. I heard it loud and clear. And I heard a voice say, if you're tired of being the bigger man, then we'll find a man that wants to be the bigger man. We'll find somebody else. We'll give somebody else the assignment. I'm telling you now, this is no lie. I heard it. If being the bigger man is too much for you, then we'll find somebody else. And I said these words. Hey, I'm just venting. I can handle it for real. I can handle the assignment, because the assignment is heavy. It's heavy when people come to me and they start talking about, this person said this, that person said that. Man, I'm like, listen, y'all don't get it. I mean, like, for real, you're gonna have to go through a little healing. I mean, for real, because like this, to whom much is given, much is expected, man. Much is required. Much is required. It's just like going through the season of suffering. It's like it's shaping you. I'm telling you, it's polishing you, it's shaping you. I mean, it's just, and then when you're finally reborn again, when you make it out of there, it's like, again, you're being like reprogrammed. Like your spiritual being is just enhanced 10 times. I mean, it's like you're talking different, you're walking different. You understand what it's like to be a servant. I understand what it's like to be a servant. I serve every day. It's not about, you never hear Shantae and I talking about I, me, or talking in third party. You don't hear us doing that. You don't see us promoting our books and all this. You don't, because look, it's about doing God's work. It's much deeper than the money. When it's so, everything you do is about, because ultimately, what is it that a person really wants in life? Some people say, I want $1 million. Well, then you'll never have it. Well, what people want ultimately in life is peace. They want peace, man. Like when you get my age, you understand that it's about peace. It is about peace. And anything that brings anything other than peace, man, I listen, I have the propensity to ignore it, to just like, for real, to shut it down, shut it off. I've learned that peace is everything. Peace is priceless. You can't even put a price tag on peace. And many people never experience peace. I'm at peace with my decision. I'm at peace with myself. I'm at peace with my life. I love what I'm doing. I love the people that I'm doing it with. Are there challenges? Yeah, there are challenges. But you know what? The most important thing is certitude and just peace. It's just peace and harmony and love. And I got all of that. When it comes to the material things, man, I probably, in my yard, I probably have every car that would be on somebody's wish list. But you know what? I ride around every day. I get driven. I have a Sprinter that the outside of it looks like a cargo van, but when you open up the door, it looks like something out of a magazine. But I ride in that. I don't drive my Rolls. I don't get driven in the Rolls a lot. I don't ride in a Maybach. I just don't. You know why? Because it's not important to me anymore. Those things at one time were important because they were things that I really wanted. I tell everybody it's funny because when you first start making money, you make acquisitions that are equivalent to like a pie in the face to somebody. You make acquisitions to show people, like I told you. I know you ain't believe me. Look at me now. Look at me now. And a lot of those acquisitions that most people make are about that. But, I mean, listen, there's only so many things you can buy from the mall. Only so many. Listen, I got so many clothes. Listen, every closet at my house I got is mine, with the exception of Shantae's. But we probably got 12 closets. I got clothes in 12 closets. But it's not important to me anymore because I am evolving into something, the next chapter of my life. I don't, like the material things. It's just for me, like, like my understanding of things is different. Like I talk about the designer brands like Gucci, Fendi, Chanel, all these brands, man, like Louis Vuitton. Man, those marketing people are geniuses. And why do I say that? Because they have figured out how to get people to spend extraordinary amounts of money to buy a garment, a piece of clothing that literally from every aspect of that piece of clothing has Louis Vuitton's brand on it, Gucci's brand on it. And they figured out a way to get people to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to facilitate their brand. Me, I figured that out. It took me a minute, but I'm like, dang, no, that would be a no for me. Do I have some nice things, some designer things? Yeah, but I don't buy it anymore. And I'm not knocking anybody that does, but I figured it out that, oh no, they won't be getting me. No, they won't get me because, I mean, the hell with some designer stuff. Shit, I got a tailor. I get something made, okay? If I want to get it, if it's that important to me. But hell, since COVID and everything, I don't even wear half the stuff that I bought. I got a closet. I got like 14 suits I ain't even worn yet, for real. I think probably this year I'll probably finally be able to do it. But I want to leave you all with this, that purpose is important. You were put on this earth for a purpose, and it was much greater than riding around looking like you have money. It was much greater than chasing money. Your purpose is who you are. You were injected. The purpose was instilled in you. It is what you're supposed to do on this earth. You're supposed to do something on this earth. Uh, a lot of people never figure it out though. Why? Because you're so caught up in worldly things that your spiritual antennas are just dead, right? I mean, you were put on this earth to fulfill a purpose, to do something, to impact something, to do. I don't know what it is for you all. I just don't know, but I know what it is for me, and it was network marketing. And I love what I do every day. I love it. I told the story how I was talking to Rashawn and her team last week, and she asked me, "Could I get on a call?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll get on here and do it." I'll talk, talk to y'all for about 15 minutes. And we on that call almost an hour and a half because I forgot how much I loved it. I forgot how much I love teaching people how to change their life, how to be a part of changing somebody's life, and not just the whole financial trajectory of their lives and their families' lives. You know, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to experience abundance for real. It just is. It's a beautiful thing, but there's a heavy price to pay for it, and it's very spiritual and it's very mental. And it's very spiritual and it's very mental. A lot of things that a lot of people go through that make them quit, or make them leave companies, make them do. Hey man, it's like it's much deeper than being mad at somebody. Like I hear people tell me, well, so and so is not here because they just couldn't deal with so and so, and I'm like, are you crazy? Do you think like you shouldn't even be having this conversation with me? Because do you think that anybody in this company, let's just say if it was Kevin, do you think if Kevin disliked me and Kevin was talking about me and Kevin was saying I didn't know what the hell I was doing, do you think Kevin could make me quit on my purpose? Do you think that he could make you think it's anything that he could do to make me quit, to make me stop doing this, to make me trick me into going someplace? Do you think that Kevin or anybody on this earth could say anything to me to make me give up on my purpose, what God has purpose for me to do? I don't know how people talk about God and all of a sudden talk about how, man, I didn't like what he said, and I can't deal with this. So I just said, are you crazy? Are you serious? You're talking about like you figuring out what your purpose is, and because somebody says something to you didn't like, that you're gonna give up, you're gonna just like quit. That one there is a little different for me, okay? Because it's nothing. When I was listen, everything ain't flowers. Every company I worked in, there was somebody crazy I worked with. Every company, somebody crazy as hell. People talked about me, dogged me, but you know what? I mean, if they can't beat you, they talk about you. And if that's your attitude, it ain't gonna bother you when people talk about you, because people are going to talk about me. All people talk about me like a dog. Do you think I care what people say about me? Because I know who Kenneth Earl Lloyd is. I know what I am, and I know the impact that I have on this planet. And I have an impact on this planet. I know my assignment and I fulfill my assignment. And there's not one person on this planet that could trick me out of it, talk me out of it, make me mad, hurt me when you talk about me. All you do when you talk about me is make me more relevant. Keep talking about me. You keep my name out there. Make me more relevant. Because everything is perspective. Everything is perspective. I want to take the last few minutes, and I hope that this message was for somebody. As I said, I hope the wrong people don't think it was about them, because it's really not. Because, but man, I wish the very best for people that come, and the very best for people that go. I really do. And some, something that hurts me. Sometimes people go who you love, and you're gonna miss them. But that's just the way it is. Um, Everything is not as you see it. I will tell you this. I'll tell you the most incredible thing about Tava. And I'll tell you, this is the most incredible thing, is that we would have been in business for 3 years, October 1st. For 3 years. That is an incredible feat. And if you all really understood and knew the challenges that we have met, the challenge that we still meet, listen, we started a business in the midst of COVID. In the midst of the worst pandemic on this earth, we started a business and survived and thrived. And you know what? These are crazy times right now, but you know what? Everything is about staying alive in order to thrive. We have stayed alive, man. We're not reflective. I don't care what people want to say. You know, we're homing in. We're making changes. We're fine tuning. This is what companies do in the first 3 years. Only until the fourth, fifth year, that's when companies really blow up. And like every new company, like there are a lot of new companies that have started up. Some people I know have started companies. I don't want to mention any names, but I do want to say congratulations, and I wish you the very best. You know, because I know these people, and man, it's a beautiful thing to see more people like us, more Black people go into ownership, and I respect that. And again, I wish them the very best, as much success. You know why I do it? Because what's meant for time is meant for time. Okay. And there's enough to go around for everybody. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't think like that, but it's cool because I do. I think like that. There's enough business, enough people that need to be blessed, enough people that need to be elevated, whose lives need to be changed. There's enough to go around, man, for everybody, for real. You know, so again, I wish them the best. But I want to talk about October 21st. And is when we have our event. A lot of people know we switched it to Houston. Well, we did it for many logistical reasons. We felt it was really the best place to do it. And just know, those of you all who say, well, I purchased a ticket for Dallas. Well, you can call and change your ticket. They'll change it. They'll change it. You got plenty of time. They'll change. It might even be less expensive. Okay. So again, we do the best that we can do. So I tell everybody, don't look for reasons to kill us. You know, don't look for reasons to knock us, because again, we are a young company, and we're going through our process. We're going through our season of suffering. And it's not easy, but the season of suffering is going to end. And when it ends, it's going to be abundant. There are going to be so many people's lives are going to be changed. There are going to be so many people that are going to be blessed. They're going to be families touched. They're going to be husbands touched, restored. They're going to be wives happy again. They're going to be, they're going to be people fulfilled. Man, I'm telling you, it's going down. It's just who's going to be around when it goes down. All right. And I pray to God that everybody on here is still around. And I know we have a lot of loyal people out here. I know that there are people that really, even people that are doing other things, they're still loyal and still love us. They just deal with things the way they have to deal with things. And I don't knock that, right? So, Lachelle, if you're there, Lachelle, let's put up something. Let's show. Come on, Lachelle, I want you to come on, and I'm going to close it out. Not right now, but I want you to come on, and I want you to share with the people about the event. I was going to talk about it, but I want you to talk about what's going to happen. So, Lachelle, come on back. There she is.
Sunshine is here. I just want to say, sir, thank you for that inspiring message. The comments, everybody is just talking about the word that was so needed tonight. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do for all of us.
Yeah, thank you too for all you do. So I want you to share, Lachelle. Go on and share with everybody. Just kind of show. I want you to show what I wanted to show.
Okay.
About the event. Then I want to show a couple more things we're going to be done. All right.
All right. All righty. Well, let me show you guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wrong button. Let me show you guys. So as y'all heard Mr. Lloyd say, The event is October 21st and 22nd here in Houston, Texas. And if you have already purchased your ticket, right, it is transferable. So you are good for the event. And let me show you guys right now. If you go to tavaevent.com, here we go, tavaevent.com. All of the information is right here. You can click this button and purchase your tickets. And we have listed several hotels that are close to the venue. Right. All right. And so if you use your Tava worldwide travel portal, you can save. Oh, guys, I didn't even realize. Okay, I wasn't sharing. There we go. Here, this is what I was trying to show you guys. I'm sorry, tavaevent.com. Come right here for all of the information, all of the updates. Buy your tickets, find the hotels that are closest to the venue, and we'll be putting the agenda, schedule. So all the information that you need will be right here at tavaevent.com. Also, right now, the tickets are live in your back office. So the event is $199, and the Powerful in Pink dinner with Mrs. Shantae Lloyd is Friday night. That ticket is in the back as well, $49.99. We have some very special things planned for you guys. I'm telling you, you definitely don't want to miss it. Get your tickets. Don't wait. Okay, don't wait. If you have not already gotten your tickets, go ahead and do it. Mr. Lloyd is having the breakthrough training, CEO breakthrough training. It is an intimate gathering with our CEO. I don't know how many times you have been able to be in the room with a CEO. All right. So if you want to take your business to the next level, if you're asking yourself, what do I need to do to level up? You want to come to Houston, October 21st and 22nd. All right. I think that's it. Sir, did I cover everything? Oh, wait, you're muted.
You know what's crazy? It's funny because I was sitting here and listening to you, and just I looked down and looked up and saw my brother, in me. I was like, dang, look, we do look alike, huh?
Yes, y'all do.
I saw my brother, boy. So listen, it is, yes. I want y'all to know, and we're really gonna. Oh man, listen, we're going to really show some appreciation to our 120 120 club members, to our new
Yes.
class of 120 new supervisors.
That's right.
And I got to say, I want to congratulate all the new supervisors.
Yes.
I'm doing a call with them tomorrow, and it'll be
That's
Shantae
right.
and I on the call. All right, don't forget about that. What time is that?
That is at 7 p.m., but that is a private Zoom
Yes, it's not
for
for
our
everybody.
brand new supervisors.
And don't try to sneak your butts on, because we know, okay? So Shantae and I are going to address, because well, I always tell everybody that for real, the the steam that keeps this ship afloat is really with supervisors and directors, the lower ranks, keep us really going and keep us. So we're going to do it. I'm going to do a special reception for a group of people. So listen, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be 2 days at a historical site. It's the Buffalo Soldiers Museum
Yes,
here in Houston, Texas. I had my 60th birthday in the Lloyd Family Foundation event there.
that's
Man,
right.
it is a beautiful place. I mean, it's historic. Again, a lot of Black history there. And we wanted to, give money back to our community, and support our people this time. It's enough to give around to everybody this time. It's our time. So we're very excited about that. It's going to be 2 days, man, where I'm going to teach you all. You all are going to come in as distributors. You're going to walk back out of there as a CEO. I'm going to teach you all how to really run your business, how to build your business, and how to build a sustainable a business that month in, month out, week in, week out, it bears fruit financially. I'm going to show you how to build a balanced business, to retail, to recruit. We're going to show that. So it is going to be, and I'm going to do it personally, and I'm going to invite a few friends. We have a special guest speaker that's going to come that you'll be surprised when you see her, okay? So it's going to be, oh, did I say her? Oh, I gave half of it away. But it's going to be something very special. Shantae is doing a powerful and pink dinner, all women. And that's going to be a beautiful thing. And it's still, we have something we're going to introduce there. We have some new products we're going to introduce, and I'm talking about they're going to be there. Okay, it's not going to be they're coming. No, they're going to be there. Okay, and so matter of fact, we've been working diligently. You all are going to love these products. When I tell you, oh my God, I'm not going to talk about them. I'll let you all see, but it's going to take your business to another level immediately. And you know what? We needed some products that separated us from the company I came from. We really needed something to take us to just separate us completely. And we found it. So we're very excited about the event. So, but just notice they're not as many. Listen, I'll tell you now, we probably only have about another 110 tickets left. They have been going. Shantae is going to only have 100 people at her. I think it's 100, Michelle. So, you want to go in and get your ticket. You don't want to wait to the last minute. And I'm not BSing you, not trying to rush you, but I'm telling you now that once we put that sold out there, it's going to be sold out. And you want to bring a guest. It's one thing, you don't want to look around and see everybody that's at the event, right? You don't want to see everybody that's already in the company. You want to invite some guests to come out and take a look at what they're thinking about doing. I guarantee anybody that you bring out, they're going to join the business if they're looking for a business to get involved in. Okay. So having said that, look, I hope somebody got the word tonight. I hope somebody, I touched somebody. I gave somebody something that they needed. It was on my spirit, on my heart. For real. And I'm just going to say, just stay strong. Just listen to your internal. Listen to the spirit. Don't be led by man. Don't let any man or woman guide you. Listen to your spirit. I listen to it. I listen to mine every day. Between 4:30 and 5:30. I go outside, listening to nothing but nature, and that's where I get fed every day. So I don't let any man or anybody guide me. I'm guided by the Spirit. Okay. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us, for believing in us. And tomorrow's going to be special too. So again, for the supervisor, I can't wait to talk to y'all. Man, the supervisor, it's going to be me and Shantae, and the supervisors. Man, the one thing I'll say about them, man, they really believe in this. They fly the flag, man. They fly hard. So, man, it's been enough time. It's supposed to be the hour of power. I got a little carried away, but I love you all. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much for believing in us and hanging in there with us, and I guarantee we're not going to let you guys down. So having said that, you all have a beautiful evening and the rest of your evening, and just have an incredible week. A blessed week, okay? And don't forget, stay strong, all right? Stay strong, all right? In the season if you're going through your season of suffering, stay strong, all right? It's not going to last forever. Love you.
Come with me, with Tava, no place is too far. Come with me, with Tava, no place is too far to go. We can take you around the world. places too far to go. New places, new faces, yeah, new zip codes. New money, NFTs and plus crypto. I don't need care cash no more. Digital currency on me. Overseas we back and forth. Round trips all aboard, baby. There's room at the top. We'll save a spot for you. Can't no one limit us, so you should come with me. With Tava, no places too far. Come with me. With Tava, no places too far to go. We can take you around the world. Catch this flight with me. With Tava, no places too far to go.